Okay, welcome back. No, I just want to steal the thunder.
How could you? We're ready to go. Welcome back to Use Your Manners. I was having fun just chatting. now we're real chatting.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Ep 3, Season 2.
It was good. It was Season 2. I came up with this subject.
I'm your host, Mitch.
I'm your host, Leah. But I came up with this subject and it's literally purely what I like. So that Mitch was like, okay, we can talk about it. But before we get into it, what's the best thing that's happened to you this week?
Nah, I was going to be funny.
We don't want to do that.
I think I've had a really good routine in the gym and I've run a lot this week, so I'm pretty happy with how I'm tracking.
How many Ks? Tell everybody how many Ks.
54 for the month.
That is unreal.
That's a lot, yeah.
I don't think I've gone that in my car, but Jesus Christ. That's pretty epic. I'm very proud of you for that.
Yeah.
I love that you do that. You look like an absolute just, oh my God, do you know what I just did? I just deleted that whole podcast note. Yeah, never mind. I've got a note on my phone where I am making sure I do all things, but I didn't delete it. I just deleted something else. I don't know what I deleted, but I won't need it anyway. What's the worst thing that's happened to you this week? Or your low?
You know what the low is.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, it's the greens.
Yeah. That's been annoying.
I don't really want to discuss it, but we're cutting hairs a bit fine with some of our Black Friday products. This time it's not our fault, but that's okay. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Don't need to air our dirty laundry.
100%. So for me, I said, hi, Black Friday coming. So excited about it because I just feel like it's going to be such a vibe. And I've done so much to the warehouse and just having the people coming in casuals. Very excited.
Yeah.
My low is I've done nothing this week but put out fires. I've done actual no work of my normal work.
Good one.
Purely because there has been so many fuck ups, but not our fault.
It's okay. Life goes on.
Life goes on. But I tell you what, Sassy Leah came out a little bit this week. Solved some issues with Sassy Leah, but I had to.
It's
and now
true,
I'm back
fair, and warranted.
And now I'm back in my shell. And I won't come back out until next Black Friday.
Perfect. Good job.
Okay, quick. This is going to be a quick one today because we are actually waiting on a phone call from a truck driver that's going to deliver something to the warehouse. So we need to literally race there if they do end up calling us. But while we're here,
sure.
I would like to ask you a question and the audience a question.
Yeah.
And these guys, just nod. Give me a nod. Do you believe in psychics? No? Yes. Love it. I love
the ones and no ones.
I love ones and no ones. Yes. I love
Did you nod or
I am
do anything?
100% yes.
Okay.
I believe everything. I believe anything anyone tells me.
I know
this is
psychic
or not. I am a believer.
I know this is going to sound weird, but I almost want to take it on a case-by-case basis. As in not a topic, I mean the person.
Yeah.
Some, I think, just talk absolute shit.
Yeah, I get it.
And some, I'm like the person we'll discuss today.
Yeah.
100%.
I've been to a couple.
Mm-hmm.
One
was Googling your name.
No, she fucking did. She Googled my cookbook and then was like, oh, I think you have 2 on the shelf. And I was like, well, currently she's not wrong. But if I get a 3rd, then she's wrong. But I think, that was a weird scenario. But I 100% believe in them. I think they're amazing. I don't know what else I believe in because I feel like there's the whole the afterlife thing. There's all these things. And I'm like, I don't really know, nor do I really care until I get there. But psychics, I think are so cool. And we
go on
collectively, you and I feel like, we have our own little fairy godmother is what I would call her. Because we won't say her real name because she is really close to us, our family unit close to us. So I don't want to point her out.
No, don't.
But I call her my fairy godmother.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like a little fairy. She's just the best. Yep. But I believe literally every single thing she says.
Yeah, I agree. Can you elaborate?
Well.
Why do you believe her? And you know what I mean? Don't be vague.
I think oh my God, I said it. I like my fairy godmother because she, one, doesn't do it for work. She doesn't, she just says things, feels things. She's got this aura about her. You'll be talking to her and then she'll just float off into the distance and you're like, what? Wait, come back. What
okay. So just to explain that to the people at home, she doesn't do this for work.
Yeah.
It's more
you can't pay her for a reading.
She believes that she was gifted
Yeah.
with this ability
Yeah.
to see things.
Yeah. And then we'll like help if someone wants it. No one else knows that she does this other than her closest family
I'd
and
say
friends.
there'd be like less than 20 people
Yeah.
that
So
would know.
she's like, she doesn't do it unless necessary sort of kind of thing. What's the biggest thing? I think like the pregnancy thing was huge for us. I think that she
So do you want to
got
go
that.
through some things
Yeah,
that
I reckon so we could convince Mr. No over here. Yeah, I promise you. Okay, so basically, fairy godmother, she used to say to us, like, she'll do like random readings for us. I'd be like, oh, I'm really stressed about this. And she's like, I'll look into it. And then she'd have like this, I don't know what that meant, but then she'd come back with this like feeling.
Sorry, can we just take it a step further back from that? Because it wouldn't necessarily be you approaching her being like, hey, I'm stressed. Sometimes she'd just ring us late at night and we'd be like, what's on your mind? I can feel it. And Leah and I'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And she'd be like, no, tell me the truth. And then Leah would be like, oh, I'm stressed about this. Like super random and
You're
weird.
keeping me up. And I'm like, oh, fuck, like, sorry. She's like, you're keeping me up. I can't sleep, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But she knows, which is crazy. But the whole pregnancy thing, she came back to us with a reading. And obviously, we've spoken about it before. Gigi was definitely a happy surprise. But we were like, she goes to us, I'm feeling, what was it? Feeling baby from you next year. Well, it was like an early reading.
No, it was March. I'm feeling a baby
and
from
then we
you
were
in
like,
March.
No, it's not going to happen. She goes, no. I'm feeling baby and I'm feeling March. So like you're going to be pregnant in March. Like that's just what's going to happen. And we were like pissing ourselves laughing. We were like, as if like that's not going to happen. We're not ready. We do not want a baby, blah, blah, blah. And then March came and went and we were like, suckers. Like we called her and I was like, haha, you're out. Like 1st of April sucked in. And she was like, like said nothing. And we were like, okay, like
That's weird.
that's rude, whatever.
Just for another quick interjection, she also says our lucky numbers are 2s.
Yeah.
So wherever we can do 2s is good.
She goes like launch your product on a 2, like on the 2nd of something or the 22nd or the 12th. So it's got a 2 in it. Like always do something with a 2 in it. And anyway, she was saying March. And then I don't even know what month it was when we found out we were pregnant. June, July, whatever. We called her straight away. Like in that second that we had found out, that an hour later, once I'd stopped hysterically crying, that we called her straight away. And she was like, and we're like, hello. And she's like, what's happening? And I was like, nothing. And she was like, just smiling at the camera. And I was like, fuck. Showed her the test and she's like, I told you. And we were like, fuck. Anyway, went to go do our the OB, like do our first little scan. And then the scan came back and we were due on March the 22nd. Unreal.
Some convincing.
Wow. Seems unconvinced, right? Whatever. Then anyway,
List goes on.
with the pregnancy, she said to me while I was pregnant, she goes, Leah, you need to get without going into Gigi's issues with that, whatever. She goes, there's something wrong with you. You need to go get it checked. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with me. I have never had a problem with that, blah, 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 whatever. She goes, no, you need to. And she's like, please go to the doctor, blah, blah. Anyway, I didn't because I was like, I don't need to. Like
I'm fine.
I'm fine. I've never had an issue with that. Anyway, I said to her in pregnancy, I was like, I'm really worried about the whole birth thing. Like I'm just like, I just don't know what to expect, blah, blah. And she's like, look, like I'll look into it. Comes back to me and she goes, I've got it written down way post. She goes, I see you in, April, May, June, going back and forth to the hospital a lot. Like in March.
April.
A lot. March, April, May, a lot. You're going to go back and forth. But it'll all be okay. But it feels like it's, what did she said? It feels like
to the hospital, but it feels like it's like specialist checkup.
Yeah, it's just like a checkup, but you're going a lot. So I'm not quite sure. And I was like, okay, whatever. Anyway, obviously, turns out post-birth, going back and forth to the hospital like 4 times a day to those specialist appointments for Gigi. And the thing that she told me to go get checked was what Gigi ended up having. So it was pretty wild with that. And I was like, okay, I think we're getting a little tick over here.
little warmer.
But that, like, to me, it was crazy because I have it all in writing. Like, she texts it to us like huge, like way before. So that to me, I was like, that was just weird. And she's picked a few like crazy things, which we'll keep.
What else has she done?
Yeah, we'll keep like the real crazy ones private.
Because they don't really.
They're not involved in us, and they're very they're like private to our family. So we'll keep that. But things like do you remember when Kayla was buying that house?
That was wild.
So weird. So Kayla was looking for a house.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell this one?
No, you go.
She was looking for a house and she kept we always Mitch sends bloody these houses to her fairy godmother all the time. Kayla was sending these houses and she was like, don't know. She's like, I'll look into it. So she looks into it, tells Kayla, she's like, whatever it is, you need to look for yellow birds, dots and something else. And it was these three or four things. And we were like,
it was the most random thing. Like, you're not going to find that in a house.
I was like, maybe the house has like a parrot or something in the backyard, like in like a little cage or something. I don't know. Like so random, so weird. We were like, okay, cool. Anyway, she was saying, you have to do this, have to find it. And anyway, Kayla found this house, didn't end up buying it. She still to this day says that was the house. But she walked through and we all walked through.
Yeah.
And literally as soon as we open the door, as you get in, as the hallway hit, there's a massive painting of a yellow bird right in the hallway. And we were like, oh my God. I started laughing. I was like, Kayla, it's the bird. And she was like, wow, that's fucking weird. Anyway, go around the corner of a kitchen and there's this huge dot painting. So I was sending these photos to her this whole time being like, is this it? Is this it? And she just writes back wink faces. I was like, okay, how do you know that we're going to walk through a house, there's a freaking yellow bird? Who the hell firstly has a yellow bird painting? And secondly, that's just weird, right? Mm-hmm. And there was these other things that we were finding in the house. It was just so cool. That was unfucking real.
Yeah.
What about Square?
Oh, yeah. I was like, Square?
There's so many things. I could just...
Yeah, okay. So when... I can say the suburb because we don't live there anymore. But when we were living in McGill, our very first house, we wanted to move... It's not very close to family for us. So we wanted to move closer to family. And let's just say Leah's family probably lives within 4 to 5 suburbs of each other. That's where everyone is. And we asked... Beep that out. The name. we asked our fairy godmother where we should live and if that area is where we want to be, because we had never spent too much time there other than visiting family. Mm-hmm. Never really considered it, whatever. And she said, so keep in mind, this is 4 years ago-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She said, no, I wouldn't buy in that area. And the family call it the Square, even though it's not a square. They call it
the Square because it's like 3 streets that everyone is on.
Yeah.
So there's a square on Google Maps and you can literally see it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
So they call it the Square and she goes, no, don't buy in the Square. Something's going to happen in 5 years.
And no one will be there.
And we were like, what? No, everyone's there. Don't be silly. So technically, Leah's parents are not in the Square, technically speaking.
Yeah, because they're across the main road, yeah.
So they're a little bit, they're outsiders. Anyway, everyone made the assumption, okay, shit, Leah's year Yampapu a bit old, they might pass.
Me and Kayla were in full denial of that. We were like, no fucking way, that's not happening.
Yeah, and then...
But they do live in the Square, so...
They do live in the Square. And then Leah and Kayla were they were talking amongst themselves okay, if they died... Would I really live here? I don't know. Maybe we'd move to the beach or Glenelg or I don't know, somewhere else. And then they're having those thoughts. So okay, maybe it's and Papa are going to pass and then we won't live here anymore. Anyway,
morbid way to think. I don't know why. But that was just
terrible.
Awful. Yeah.
So we were like, okay, that's weird. We kind of parked it and then we bought the big house.
Yeah.
And did a build. That was not in the Square. So we were. That was my favorite area growing up. I was like, I really love this area. Mm. Leah was like, okay, if it's not going to be the Square, let's at least be semi-close to the Square. So we bought there. Yep. Anyway, sold that house. That's great. Then we moved to the Square.
Yeah.
And now Kayla is leaving the Square.
Yeah. She's out of here.
And by the time she leaves, it'll be
5 years.
Very close to 5 years. And now me and Leah are going, okay, well, if they're moving to Queensland, do we want to be in the Square?
Yeah. And
I don't know. Maybe we want to be close because our life, I would say, is not lived in the Square other than family.
Yeah, because we work so far away, yeah.
Yeah, we work further away. So do we then go closer to work?
But I think it was such an absolute ridiculous thing for...
Back then, if you had have said that, not a chance.
Nah, not a chance.
No way. Everyone was there. Life was very different 5 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anna wasn't even born.
No.
Like she's 4.
Yeah. So she had all this like insight.
Yeah. So that's another thing. Can you tell the one about the bear launch?
Oh, I can't remember that one too well, but I'm pretty sure we had these developers and I would have been well equipped to be the developer if that was like the skill level because they kept fucking things up. But we were trying to launch Bear, and there was we went through one developer and then another and then another, and each one was just like, what did that person do? I don't understand it. And it was just like an absolute mess. But we got it working. I remember she did a reading on us and she was like, Leah, something is wrong with that website. Like, so it's going to crash. Like, no matter what happens, that is not going to work out. And we were like, no, don't worry. We've got this. Because then after we went through these 3 guys, we went through this like elite team, like absolute elite team. And we were like, don't worry, these guys are onto it. Like,
they're like one of the best web developers in Australia.
Yeah, they were like, we have got the best team. Like if there's anything, they'll find it. And she was like, no, there's something wrong. And I kept being like,
she kept saying your website's going to crash.
Yeah, so it's going to crash, it's going to crash, it's going to crash. And I was like, no way, it can't, blah, blah, blah. Like there's all these things in place.
But we also, sorry to interrupt, we brought it up with the web developers saying, hey, like, are we okay to withstand like 20,000 people on the site at once? And they're like, like you got heaps, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And then she kept saying like every day she'd ring us, you need to check on the thing. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And we're like, fucking hell. Anyway, I think it was like a couple of days before launch, they ended up finding in those test periods or whatever it was, they ended up finding that bug that was actually only going to let 20 or something people on the website at once before it crashed.
0, yep.
And we were like, okay, that was weird. So then they're like, don't worry, all sorted. I hadn't spoken to Fairy Godmother like since then. It's like they rang me to sort it out and then I didn't have enough time. She rang like an hour and a half later and was like, hey, all sorted. And I was like, yeah, all sorted. And she goes, yeah, it's all good. And I was like, well, how do you know that? Did you speak to Mitch? And she was like, no. I was like, okay, so you just know that it's all sorted? She goes, yeah, whatever it was isn't there anymore. It's all good. And I was like, okay, well, can you fuck off with that? Like, because you're looking into me too much if you know that within every hour of every hour. But she literally knew.
She gets feelings, yeah.
She gets these like things that she's like, my stomach churns if something's wrong. Yeah. And I'm like, that's just odd. Yeah. One last one.
That doesn't sound very convincing though.
No, but
like, you're not really selling.
Okay, well, it was
my
intense.
stomach churns.
Yeah, well, yeah. It doesn't sound very legit, but it's what she's like. My last one with my convincing is, well, not really. It's not really convincing people. I believe in it, so I don't really care. But my friend, she had 2 babies and the first birth was like a bit, not traumatic, but just a bit like, it was just a bit fast. She was really young. It was really crazy. Second birth was traumatic. I'm obviously not going to go into it, but it just was like just a trauma birth, whatever. So she also had really bad pregnancies, like vomiting the whole time, like freaking was just awful. She hated being pregnant the whole time because it just was so hard on her body. Anyway, they were discussing her and her, like she kept saying, I don't want any more kids, blah, 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 all this stuff. Like this, she just absolutely did not want another. And she was like so strong on it. And then she got our fairy godmother to like do a little reading on her and her life. And I said, oh, I can do that. I can text her for you. So I messaged her and anyway, she did the whole reading for her. And then she just said, like, fairy godmother sends me a message and goes, tell your friend to stop lying to her husband. And I was like, oh, hell no. Like, I'm not getting in this. I was like, if there's something in between those two, I'm absolutely not getting in the middle of this. I said to her, I was like, I don't want to tell her that. Can you give me something else to tell her? Something more of a light note. And she was like, no, that's the words you need to say. Don't stop lying. Stop lying to your husband. Because I think one of the questions she had asked fairy godmother was if they're going to have more children. If there's like, because she just was like, I just want to be aware. And that was all she wrote back. So then I was like, went to my friend, I was like, this is what she's written. I was like, look, I don't really care if you guys are in, like, if you're in it right now, like if that's what's happening, like I can support you through it, but like this is what she's written. And she saw it and she looked at me, she goes, oh, fuck. And I said, oh no. What'd you do? Like, what am I supposed to lie for you? Like, what did you do? And she's like, yeah, she's right. And I was like, okay, what do you mean? And she was like, I really, really want more kids, but I've told him I do not want any more children. And I have been like fully lying to him this whole time because I'm so scared to go through another pregnancy and I don't want to have to do it. But I know that I'm lying to him when I say I don't want more kids, but I really, really want more. And she fucking knew it. And then as soon as I wrote back saying, yeah, she definitely wants more children, blah, blah. And like my fairy godmother literally wrote back being like, yes, I know. This is what she has to do. This is what she has to say, blah, blah, blah. And she needs to stop saying this and stop saying that. And it was ridiculous. But my friend looked at it and was like, damn, that's really true. And I was like, yeah. But like it was insane. She was so strong on not having more. And she was like, stop lying.
I have one more.
Insane. Don't give me that look.
I have one more story. Okay. So I'm not going to name names because it'll give it away, obviously. But there's this person that we know and they asked fairy godmother a question.
Oh, wait.
About having more kids. No context.
Was it me?
No. No context given at all. And then fairy godmother wrote back, yes, I see blah, blah, blah could happen. I also see a move coming, like house move, coming in May. Big things happening for that person in 2024. Now, fairy godmother didn't know about any of this, but the couple had just signed a build contract and they were leaving their current house to move in with their parents in May.
Come on, give me a little wink.
Hey, that's ridiculous. No one told her that.
I know.
How would she know that? That's wild.
Yeah, I think there's some, and like obviously we can't go into the stories, which I'll tell you guys later. You wait.
Yeah.
But those stories, like they are unmatched.
Yeah.
But like if you have any psychic stories, tell us because I'm into it. I'm so into it, and then we can read it out next time. We can read out
that's a good one.
Little guru stories. If you have literally anything, let us know. I'm so keen. What has she said about, actually, let's give everyone a house update because what she said about the house and what are we doing, planning, doing. Mitch has been
No. She, okay, some things she says.
She's an enabler.
Some things she says are very vague and she'll let you, like she's not going to tell you something so that you change what you're doing in life. She's more like,
that's so true.
This is what I see, take it however you want. So we spoke about second child last week on the pod. Yeah. But with that in mind, we went and met with a builder and designer 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and we're discussing the possibility of renovating and extending our current house that we're in. Mm. And then I know this sounds silly because we've been through it before, but the house we bought came with plans. So we wanted to amend those plans or start from scratch. So I know we've built a house and done all of this before, but going to this new builder, they're like, yep, okay, you got to start from scratch, new plans. That's a 9-month process, like planning. Mm. And then from there, you'll need to move out of the house and it's a 12-month build. Exactly what we did in our last house. So then Leo and I were thinking, okay, like Gigi will probably be like 4 by the time we move back in.
Yeah.
And we will either be pregnant or probably have a second child.
Wow, fairy godmother did say 2025.
By then.
That was her thing.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So now our thing is just, and I did say it to fairy godmother, I'm not that the house isn't big enough, that's not what I'm saying, but it's a lot of work to move out and then come back for something that if we're going to go through all the effort again to build a house like we did the first time, I kind of want it to be maybe a brand new house or maybe bigger land or maybe, again, not in the square if everyone's leaving the square, like maybe closer to work, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, I said that to fairy godmother and then she was like, yes. And she's said this for a long time. She says, I see you living somewhere in a valley.
Valley?
A valley is what she says.
The fuck is
it's like a valley overlooking vineyards. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm not going to name the suburb, but there is a suburb that we would like to go to that is very valley-like. It's not the hills. It's very valley-like. And there are some orchards around where I'm looking.
Mm.
So that's a bit, but she's like, yeah, I don't think you'll build this house. And I was like, no. I'm like where we are now. Yeah. At the time, I was like, no, we will. And up until I went to the builder, things have changed a little bit. Yeah. But she was like, I don't see you there for long. And I was like, bro, I'm 5 months in. Like, what are you talking about? Don't be silly. She's like, nah, this isn't it. You'll be out either when you're pregnant or you're planning for a second child, you'll be out of here. And I remember sitting in that meeting when he was giving me the timelines with the builder going, fuck.
Yeah.
Gigi will be 4. We want a second child.
It's like as old as Anna now. That's
crazy. What I mean. But we will want to have a second child. Yeah. And I remember thinking, oh my God, fairy godmother said this would happen.
Yeah.
And here's me trying to be proud, like, nah, like we'll build it. Like, but I'm not sure if we will.
I think what I also like about her is she'll go like, she'll see something or feel something or whatever, and we'll be like, okay, what does that mean? She goes, well, I don't know. It's you figure it out. I just see it. I see it and do it. I don't know. I don't understand any of it. I'm like, that's great.
That's also the other thing. Like, she had obviously seen our last house that we'd built, and going there, we were talking to her and like, hey, like, I don't know, we kind of want to sell this house, and everyone thinks we're crazy, like in the family, because we obviously just built it. She's like, no, I agree. And Leah was like, what? She's like, it's not very homey. And me and Leah were like, oh my God, like she's calling us out. Like she's calling our bluff.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
I was like, yeah, we feel the same. Like, because we obviously didn't design it to be a kid-friendly home. We didn't design it to be a family home. She's like, yeah, you really just need that family home. And we're like, oh my God, that's so weird. But anyway, list goes on.
She does so much shit.
We can share very more convincing things.
But so fun.
It doesn't involve us, so I'm not going to.
I know, we can't. But anyway, look what I have. Angel cards.
Leah's turned into her own fairy godmother.
I am my own fairy godmother because I want to be psychic. And you know what? She always says that Mitch has this like intuition. Like he's got it, he gets it, he sees it, he feels it. And he is a really like, he can judge people from afar away. And I'm like, everyone's lovely. But I'm terrible at it. But she always says Mitch has this thing. So I want my own thing. So I've got my own fairy godmother cards.
Apparently I've got a thing.
You do. She says it all the time. But I need to, I really should have done this the other day. But I'm going to do fairy cards. If you don't know what they are, basically you have, you pull 3 cards and it tells you your future. But a lot of people say these fairy card things are they're evil. So I don't really know why. So
I don't know why we're doing them.
Let's just hold our breath.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why are we doing them? We want our future for today.
I don't really love.
Imagine if it's like shipment does not arrive. Like,
I've never seen this card before. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to shuffle.
Yeah.
Now,
let's do it.
I've completely made this up, but I think I'm going to have to read the instructions, but we know I don't like doing that. So you got to like knock on the card 3 times. Yeah.
Knock on it 3 times.
Yep. 1, 2, 3. Now, ask a question. So in your own head. Like,
hey, really?
Yep. So the question has to be like, how's my life going? You know, like those kind of vibes. Like you wait.
Can I ask
when we finish this podcast, you'll be pulling some fairy cards.
Hang on. Sorry.
Yes.
Am I asking one question and are we taking multiple cards? Can you explain the rules a little bit better?
Well, I haven't read them, have I? I think basically you say like, you know, am I on the right path? Or like, I need some direction. And then you pull cards and then those cards are going to be your direction.
You're not answering my question. Am I asking
Can
one
you ask
question?
That goddamn question then?
And how many cards am I picking up?
One question and picking 3 cards. Okay.
Okay, well, can I have 3 questions then?
No. The 3 cards are meant to revolve around that one question. Like.
Okay.
You know?
Yep.
He's not asking. Okay, ready? Pick 3. He's picking. All right, first one. Yep. No, you're not meant to look at them.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, give me that. Go.
That's very funny because my question was...
Next one. Pick whatever you like. Oh, shit. You're going to... Yep, perfect. Great. Pick that one. Good. Pick one more. Sorry, I'm really... Spit on it. All right. Done. Okay. Now...
The first one was good, guys.
Now, what I have...
Just so you know.
I have 3... I've got a little card here, a little book here, and it has the readings of what they are. So you give me the thing. You give me the name of it.
They're good cards,
okay,
boys.
What was your question? If you feel comfortable enough to tell everybody.
I had 2 questions.
Okay, well, that was not one. I think we established that wasn't the rules.
No, well,
right.
I make my own rules.
Okay.
So it was, will we move house?
Mm-hmm.
And like the next kind of follow-up was like, are we on the right path with like work?
With work. Okay, cool. All right, well, like.
Because just to, not to give too much away, but we are doing a lot of things with Yes Please at the moment and Leah and cooking. So it's just, there'll be big changes in 24 and I just want a bit of reassurance.
Okay, so give me the name of what you have and then I have like the explanation of that card in here.
Pretty funny.
Okay.
Big happy changes.
No, see, fairy cards are real. Okay. It's real. Okay, so we have. Okay.
Can we get Nick on the set?
I reckon.
Can we get him in?
I'm ready.
Ready
for this.
Fairy cards.
Big happy changes. Okay, so big positive changes are coming into your life. You may find yourself on a new career path, entering a new relationship or moving new home or city. Embrace these exciting events knowing that your angels will be beside you all the way. What you're asking about may require you to take leaps of faith that seem frightening and beyond your ability, but trust that the opportunities before you are meant to bring you happiness. These options would not have presented themselves unless you were ready for them. Release your fears and follow your heart.
It's very funny that you said some of those words because the next one Trust.
I could do this all day. I could do it all day. You guys wait.
It's going to become a psychic podcast.
Okay. Also, if you're listening to this, you should be asking yourself some questions, and then maybe the fairies can see it, and then maybe these are actually your answers. Ready? This is a time for trust. Sometimes there is a no yes or a no to a question. There are situations where we are better served by not knowing what is to come so that the miracle can unfold before our very eyes. Like children opening a gift, part of the magic of our lives is finding the joy of surprise. Trust that your angels have something amazing in store for you, even if they can't quite tell you what it is yet. Whoa! Okay, pick another one. Go.
You ready?
Hey, don't give me that stink face.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Don't stop.
Oh, I love it. Hang on. Let me see. D. I need to get my. I can't. I'm so excited that I don't even know my alphabet. Okay, ABC.
I need to take a photo of these.
It's not the time to give up. Continue to move in the direction of your hopes, dreams, or plans. You are on the right path and you should see progress as long as you stay the course. How much does Fairy Godmother say stay your course?
Yeah.
It's very important that you stand your ground and believe in yourself. Don't let others intimidate you into quitting. Just because they don't have your vision doesn't mean that you shouldn't follow your heart.
Ooh.
Vip, vip. Okay.
That's pretty
Now you shuffle.
Pretty cool.
Put them on top like that ways because they're like, yeah, okay. And then this is your book. It goes in alphabetical order.
I'm nervous. All right. Let's do it.
All right. Ready? So, okay, got to knock on the card 3 times.
Oh, yeah, hang on. Yeah.
Let me lock. So you go 1, 2, 3. Asking my question. I don't know what I'm picking, but I'm going to go under. Right under. And then I'm going to go the last one.
All right.
Okay.
I have my book.
Yep. So they go in alphabetical order. So basically.
This might take a while.
No, it's not. It's not. There's only like 3 cards per thing. Okay. So my questions were, again, am I on the right path?
Yeah.
And will we have a second child sooner than 2025? Because that's my big fear.
Oh, jeez.
So. So funny. Okay, sorry. First question, not the right time. Unreal.
Oh, it just
a
opened
kid
up to
sooner than 2025, not the right time.
This is not the right time presently for what you're inquiring about. This answer is not a no, it's just a not yet. Have patience. Your angels will give you a sign when the timing is perfect.
I love a not yet.
Yeah. I feel like you're getting convinced, but don't want to be convinced.
Yeah, because I don't like. I genuinely am not. I don't. It's not something that I want.
It's not the right time.
Yeah, not the right time.
We really need to knuckle down next year.
Yeah, and then okay. So when I said, "Am I on the right path?" Right now at work, next year I'm choosing.
Can I guess it's up to you?
No, okay, I'm choosing to choose a new direction.
I just opened that.
Real. Because
all happening.
At work, I'm choosing to not go into the office as much next year and spending my days cooking and filming and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like swapping my days out, choose a new direction.
The time has come to choose a new direction for your life. The circumstances that you find yourself living in may seem unfulfilling, or perhaps your heart is full of discontent. You know that there is something more for you in the world.
Unreal. I mean, I really like what I do right now, but I just want to do more of the stuff I really, really, really do like. So I'm pumped about that.
That's awesome.
So the next one was listen to your intuition. And I like that one too, because I feel like that's something that I'm doing via doing all these things. You know?
Lose hold. So what was it? Listen to
your intuition.
Interesting. Your intuition is completely reliable and accurate at this time. Listen to your own inner guidance and you can't go wrong. You can be certain that the messages you're receiving from your angels are real and trustworthy. Have faith in your feelings about your circumstances that you're experiencing. Your insights into other people and their true feelings or motives are perfectly accurate. There is no need to question what you know is true.
See? I like that is fire.
That's pretty weird because for both of our questions, they're pretty like relevant.
Yeah. See? Fairy cards are
you know what I mean? Like it's not like Leah didn't ask about there's a romance card. There's
there's all these random things in there. That's fun. I like fairies.
That's
very
fun.
I like it. And now, because I like cards,
Wait, no, we're not doing more.
No, we're finishing the day with this.
What's that?
It is a...
Leah, we've done it well. We don't end on a bad note.
No, this is good. But I actually didn't think about doing this because I didn't open it beforehand. So there's plastic.
Okay, so we won't do it.
No, because we need to. Oh, here we go. Affirmations of your day. So we're going to end it with giving an affirmation out to everybody that we're finishing with.
Like,
help you.
Yeah, okay.
50 affirmations to help you out without the self-helpiness. I don't know who got me these, but cool. All right, we don't listen to that, which is a card that tells you the rules. So pick an affirmation, and this is going to be your affirmation for the day. Okay? Mm-hmm. Don't have to knock on the cards. I'm assuming that's not a rule. And then I'll pick one, and then we can just finish off by giving people such great advice.
Shit.
Okay. What's yours?
No judgment. I feel like I got your card. I release myself from all my judgments. I find my inner critic, call into my office and tell it to take a vacation. As it leaves the room, I let out a sigh and begin to enjoy the joy of simply being. Who hired that guy anyway? Joyville.
Okay, so we just need to go to Joyville today.
No, I'm okay. I'm a pretty happy person. No, I don't have judgment.
Okay, but that means... It means you might.
Can you do yours?
Okay. Hang on. All right. Mine is communication. Wonder how that other person's feeling. Ask them. Wish they knew how you were feeling? Tell them. You've been drafted into the communication army where, okay, this is so self-helpy, where there is a strict do ask, do tell policy. Speak with kindness and gentleness and reach an understanding. And if you don't, assumption will be made. Just make asses of everyone. Oh, okay. Okay, what? Including the person who came up with that aphorism. That's too smart for me. So anyways, go to Joyville and talk to your friends. That's what these affirmations cards are trying to say.
Great job.
Thank you, everybody. I love fairy things. I love things that are just a little bit wild, you know? And after we get on this podcast, you guys doing fairy cards. Yeah.
So
can't wait.
I think everyone should send in their psychic stories.
Yeah, I want to hear it because I want to read it out next week because I want to be more convinced, even though I'm already way over the line of being convinced.
And I want to hear if people actually believe.
Yeah. I think it's such a, because it's like, I could say to you like, oh, you know, like what you see is what you get with you. Yeah. And you'd be like, yeah, that's true. It's like, well, you've got eyes that are, you know, you can see through people and you'd be like, okay, like fucking obvious. Like, but like, do you know what I mean? So there's like, you just don't know until they like hone in on certain things. Mm-hmm. It's very tricky.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, wait, I have one more. So my dad's dad, right, he passed before I was born. Right, so way before I was born. So I never got to meet him. And when Fairy Godmother was here over at our house, I said to her, she said something about talking to him or whatever. And I said, I've always, like, I don't know what he would be like because I don't know. I've never met him. I never got to like spend any time with him. I didn't know anything, obviously. But I always think about him and I don't know why. And I always do. Like every time I go into Gigi's room, for some reason, he just pops up in my head. And Gigi at nighttime, sometimes she giggles and she like at 3 a.m. and apparently that's like a psychic hour at 3 a.m. on the dot. She giggles her heart out and we like look at this monitor and she's just laughing to herself as if something's tickling her. So I was telling Fairy Godmother that story. I was like, she just giggles at night. I don't know what it is. And she was like, oh, you know, it could be like, you know, happy spirit, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we're talking about my grandpa and I was like, I always think about him. But obviously I wouldn't know. She's like, no, you just need to start like just talk to him, just say something or think something and then he can think about it, whatever. Don't know if you guys believe in that, but anyway, we were at our house and she goes, she rang me straight away after we all went home. She goes, I need to ask you something. Do you know if your grandpa had like a really horsey voice, like a really softly spoken voice, like actually I can't explain it, but it was like he was trying to speak, but it's really, really quiet. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know. I never got to meet him. So then she asked Mum, and my grandpa actually had a stroke and before he passed, but he couldn't speak. But he could only say like a few really small, like horsey words. Mm-hmm. So he apparently, Fairy Godmother heard him say something and she was like, I reckon it was him and he was like around that when we were all around because I was talking to her about it and she's like, and I think that was him maybe. And I was like, oh, goosebumps. I just think that's really cool because she like explained his voice, and then when Mum said, Mum was like, "Yep, that's exactly what his voice is like, very, very softly spoken." Crazy, guys. Anyway, I'll leave you with that story because
that is wild.
I need to go do more fairy cards now. I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday.
Yes.
And we will be back, and this will be, I think this has to be an ongoing thing.
I don't think so.
Come on.
No.
All right. We love you.
Thanks for joining in.
We love you and leave you. Bye, guys.
See ya.
See ya.